Good evening, sir. How are you? Now today we are going to talk about negotiation, conflict, and dispute resolution. And my presentation team consists of Dominic Chan, he's from Malaysia, Rahul Sound from India, and Jimmy from China. So we have all contributed our best. And our topic is Air France on strike. Now, what is this topic all about? It says that there is a lot of dispute between the management and the employees, and how is the negotiation process going to take place, how the employees are going to satisfy, is the management going to get satisfied. Everything will be answered in the presentation. Now we'll give a short brief about the company's profile. The Air France is the France flag carrier headquarters is in Tremblay in France. The global giant is a strong European base. The Air France is a combination of two companies. One is Air France itself and the KLM. KLM is a Dutch company. So they have merged together to have a business like passenger transport, cargo transport, and aeronautical maintenance. Now, what is the company profile talks more about? It talks about international tariffs and departure from Europe. Now, in figures, in 2018, it offers its customer access to network covering up to 314 destinations in 160 countries. There are 4 brands under this Air France. That is Air France, KLM, Royal Dutch Airlines, Transilien, and HOP. Now, the company's profile. It talks about there is like 537 aircrafts in operation and carried like 98.7 million passengers in 2017. It operates to 2020 flights daily, but its hub is in Paris, Charles, Köln, and Amsterdam. The Air France and KLM are its partners, and the partners are Delta Airlines and Atlantic Operation, which is the biggest transatlantic joint venture, which is having 270 daily flights. Now, the members of the SkyTeam Alliance, with 20 members, is airlines offering the customers to access its global network over 116 daily flights to 174 destinations in 177 countries. Now, this was the overall analysis of the company, like what is the company and the profile. Now we'll talk about the overall situation, why the situation happened, why the workers were not happy with the management, and what went wrong that the company went on a strike. The workers were demanding a 6% pay increase, given a bumper profit of Air France. In 2017, they had about euro 1,048 million. But the management did the other thing. They increased 1% price for 2 legal recognized. Like there are like French Democratic Labour Confederation and General Managers Union only increased the salary of the workers by 1%. But on the other hand, the executives were granting themselves a double-digit pay increase. The workers angry exploit, and they suffered a 7 years wage freeze and 10,000 job loss. Now, what are the internal factors? According to our group and according to our research, what would be the internal factors which will be affecting the Air France and KLM to take such actions? Now, Air France and KLM stocks have underperformed the sector peer as well as 40 index over for last 6 months. It shows that Air France stock has been completely decreasing day by day. But the main problem of Air France and KLM group is the French government. 16% intake has been the more thing. Now, what are the external factors? Now, according to external factors, there can be many of external factors can be taken into account. But the more important external factors is the cost of the fuel, because fuel is more important. Cost per available seat kilometers were 6.8 euro per cent last year, compared with 2 euro per cent at Ryanair, 5.1 euro per cent at International Airlines Group partners for British Rail and Air, according to JP Morgan analysts. The problem is not confined at a high operating expense. It is also a large borrowing which reaches up to a 6.5 billion. Now, what are the social factors? Now, we think that the company is not being affected only by internal and external factors, but it is also affected by the social factors regarding about 1,700 ground staffs, 900 cabin crew, and 300 pilots. There was a complete job loss in France. People were at the road. They were trying to take on the management. They were trying to convince them management that please don't let us off the job, and it was an overnight decision by Air France. So the striking of the worker is preparing a political factors. Now what are the political factors taking into consideration? There is the France government into act and the European Union and allies of Air France workers across the Europe and internationally or increasing entering into the struggle. Like it was the France government coming into action, the European Union also coming into action, and also the internationally increasing struggle. Like Air France, like they were descheduling the airlines, and all the passengers had to feel like they couldn't take the advantage, and there was a lot of cost loss for the France airlines. So France government had to step in to improve the situation. Now later on, framing will be continued by my group partner Dominic Chan.
Right, now we are looking into the whole situation after the scenario given in the introduction, how we can, as both Air France, KLM, and also the union, by understanding each other, how we can come up to a negotiation process. Right. Now let's look at the challenges that are faced by Air France. Why are they rejecting the 6% increase that is requested by their employees? Right. Based on one of the newspaper reports, is saying that the chief executive saying that by giving them 6% increase, it will jeopardize restructuring efforts done in recent years. Now the question is, restructuring efforts, what are they doing? Right. In January 2012, they started the major restructuring program to reduce annual cost by 1 million euros. And they are going to reduce the fleet purchases as well to 5 billion euros within the next 3 years. Net debt, they reduce it between 2.45 billion between 2012 to 2016. As what you see earlier on, their net debt is over 6 billion. Right? Within 2 years to reduce it to by 2 to 4.5 billion. Now, technically, probably it's impossible, but then they're very sure about it. And this is a doubt actually that whether they can do it or not. Now, the main thing that here, the main focus is talking about wages be frozen for 2 years. This is reported in 2012. Now it's 2018. They're having a strike today, exactly today, right? Why has it been going on for so long, right? They said 2 years is fine, it's normal. I think staff will actually understand that the economical situation. But given for 7 years with a stagnant salary, something is wrong. And this actually gives a big advantage to the employees to fight. Right? And of course, one of the restructuring process as well is to focus more on passenger business. As we go on early on, we see how they progress. Right? In 2014, that's where they looked into Transavia. Right? They acquired Transavia because they look at the low-cost business. It's very productive. There are a lot of this coming in. That's why they also ventured into low-cost airline. Right? And to do that, they need to invest 1 billion euros over the next 5 years. And they are actually predicting a return of operating profit by 2018. As I can see in their progressing, Transavia is doing very well. Right? And cutting operating costs for the short-haul distance operations. Now this has been suggested that this is not a very wise move. You cannot cut costs in short-haul operations because of the frequency in taxing in the airports. Right? This will definitely kind of reduce costs, and also because of the manpower that you need to juggle with all the short-haul files, all the short-haul flights that they need to have constant movement in the employees. And again, I think costs from this section will be very tough. Just go back to 2014 again, when they actually introducing, or when they actually acquire Transavia, that triggered another strike from the pilots, saying that their pay actually lower than the pilots from Air France, which makes sense because they are all low-cost carrier. But then again, they all strike because of the weight difference is very high. Right. And of course, in 2015, they're looking to expanding to long-haul flights. Their fleet as well, they will increase their fleet, which is part of the restructuring program. And what happened as well, they need to drop one of their plan, which is the job cuts. They cut the jobs, which triggered another protest in the previous year. Right. So if you're looking in all the restructuring efforts, what we've seen here for those 3 years is actually all talking about business, getting more money in. How about employees? Nothing talk about employees except firing employees. job cuts. So this is something that Air France has a big disadvantage over why they should not, or why they should give a 6% increase.
Why they should not?
Why they should, because of all these, because they are at a disadvantage here with all these points given. Alright, okay. Next reason why they rejected the 6% increase, they're saying that despite the strong profits of 1,488 million euros in 2017, they actually made a net loss of 274 million euros. Why? Because they pumped the money into KLM, the pension fund for the pilots and the cabin crews. Of course, as Air France employee, hey, what happened? Right. Third one is they're facing intense competition because of the market share that they have with the low-cost airlines. In Europe alone, there are more than 31 low-cost airlines in Europe. Right. And of course, the pie is the share of the pie is getting smaller and smaller. Therefore, their profits generation is very, very limited. And of course, with the competition from Ryanair and EasyJet, they're going very, very well. Of course, with the pricing strategy as well. The next chart actually just shows big examples of the airlines. Ryanair being on the top, Lufthansa, followed by IAG. IAG is the international airline group which comes from the British Airlines, from Ireland and Spain. And of course, Air France stands together with the EasyJet at 8%. Alright, now after talking about Air France as a company, now we're talking about the Air France employees, why they're so persistent in getting the 6% increase. And of course, we all know very easily that tariffs have been frozen since 2011, nothing movement at all. Cost of living in France is increasing, and in 2018 they also continue to increase. For example, the hospitalizations, petrol, gas, stamps, parking, all increase. And another thing which I've done is that I look at the reviews given by the past employees and present employees through a website called glassdoor.com. A lot of those employees actually put in their grievances, and of course there are pros and cons. So a lot of positive things, there are a few of them, but a lot of negative things, which I will just a quick browse through on the negative things, like no manager was around to help when problem arises, favoritisms. Even says you're not worth more than minimum wage and can leave if they don't like. So this shows very, very bad management. Right. The next slide just shows a bit more. There's no growth opportunities, not listening to staffs, making people. Another point is make people feel open to management and not afraid of getting fired for voicing their concerns. Right. So these are the points that I got from the employees that I feel that it also triggered them to go for the strike, because probably if they had not happened, probably if all the benefits are good, they've been treated well, I think maybe this may not happen because hey, since Air France treated us so well, might as well we just go along with it. So this is the thing that we as a team thought that it may trigger it as well. Alright, with all the points taken from Air France and also from the employee's perspective and also from the management perspective, we're looking at the strategies and how we should look into this. Now, as I said, Air France is in a very disadvantaged position, because of the explanation that I've done just now, right? And basically, we're using a distribution negotiation method, saying that now they have the rights, to get their salary increase because they have sacrificed so much over the years. They've been with the company so many years without salary increase. They're still there, so I think they have the rights to say, "Give me my 6%." Right? Again, they can be very assertive in getting a fair share of operating profits. Again, we're talking about the profits in 2017. 1/3 of the profits came from Air France, but they're getting nothing. Again, that money has been pumped into KLM. We're also looking into integrative negotiation and the interest base, so that we also look into like both parties are meeting each other's needs as well. Right? Like Air France, one of the things that Air France should address as well, all the negative reviews, then they're taken seriously, take action on it, shows that they care for the employees rather than just giving money and so on. And I'm sure that a lot of people would think of it as well, that hey, since you care for me and it doesn't matter, fine, I sacrifice another few years for you. Agree on a salary range increase with a service commitment, like for example, I ask for, give me 4% instead of 6, fine. Give me 4%, I commit to you for 2 years, for example. And again, in one of the SWOT analysis, it says that one of the threats is that they have very, very high cost of employee turnover, and it's very, very often. Like with this practice put in hand, it's a win-win situation. Employees get a raise, and they get a commitment from the staff for at least 2 years to lower down their employee turnover costs. Air France can often say, okay, fine, if we are going to give you 6%, we work together as a team, you hit the profit of a certain percentage at a certain time or agreed time, you get a 6%. Yeah. So this is one of the resolutions that we can negotiations techniques that we can use.
Yeah.
So for the rest of I will hand it to Jimmy.
I just want to use some negotiation language just explain how the process. Just what the pattern of the employee and union, because the first negotiation has failed, yeah. So the next is maybe they have options about the negotiation, such as additional paid holidays, incentives, and bonus. Address the list of all employees' complaints, yeah, just to do this. And then for Air France, outsourcing to reduce the labor intensity is a kind of best options. We do research the outsourcing in Ireland. It's a very common. Yeah, it's a can used to cut the long-term cost. So it's a best way to for Air France to choose these options. Another way is a financial evolution of salary increase impact to Air France, because the both side you want to increase the salary. This will be influence our competitors running. But what this sentence means is, I think, is more powerful. It comes from the financial evolution. Maybe other third part will to give them the evidence or support, yeah, to persuade the union to accept the next steps. What the partner is for employees and unions, outsourcing to reduce the labor intensity is some kind of maybe, because the first time they have got 1.4% salary increase. Maybe the Athens doesn't want to increase the salary again. So maybe they have some this is the worst options for the unions. And for Athens, maybe this is additional paid holidays or incentive and bonus, and also maybe in short term will increase the cost in short term. So it's a what now? Yeah. Recommendations. This strike had already cost Air France 25 million. So this strike has destroyed the profit of Air France. Yeah. Such rules can be used to compensate the employees. So the more struck, the more damage. So it's not good. Need to invest in employees as they have sacrificed years of stagnated salary. And both parts come to a settlement point to meet in the middle, including Air France taking necessary actions on the negative reviews. This is the general recommendations. Yeah. Just have a look. This is just negotiation language. Yeah, such as initial offers, the Air France and the union also, they have different requirement. The target point, yeah, this is target point. This is the first negotiation, yeah. And How about the resulting point? The resulting point is usually, I think this is a kind of a borderline. You cannot know exactly because if until the final negotiation agreement, you can know, oh, what's their bottom line? What our bottom line? You can know each other. So it's a gap. You just negotiate again and again. The gap small and small. The financial and the final agreement. Yeah. The bargaining rate. Yeah. Also is a kind of. This is my target. This is an outside bottom line. This is a bargaining rate. But this can because they have forced negotiation, so they have. I guess they can calculate each other's the bargaining rate. About the settlement point, first negotiation was failed. Both parties need to adjust their settlement point, make it more reasonable. Yeah, so it's just the conclusion. Yeah. This is a kind of summarize. Yeah, it's about the strategies. Yeah, negotiation strategies. The union negotiation strategies are more power driven. Yeah, such as funding more partners, increase the Air France union's power, flight crew, ground staff, and pilots. These powers will have more powerful impact on the Air France. And another is the union implement a short-term strike towards the Air France management team, take serious and negotiation as soon as. Yeah. Then, when the first meeting has not good result, yeah, they open their strike date and choose to have a longer strike. Yeah, this is a. It seems the Air France Union is good at use the media's influence also. Yeah, such as they post the strike arrangement to media and create more dangerous atmosphere. The passengers, yeah, maybe change their mind. Yeah, this period I can't to travel. Yeah, maybe this is the worst situation for the Air France management team. The Air France management team negotiation strategies are more passive. So first is lack of systematic strategy to deal with this situation. Yeah, so it's more passive. All the complaint, all the indication of strike, they all neglect. They don't want to ignore it. They don't want to care about it. Yeah, so the strike is continue. To emphasize the company's economic situation and state competitive may not be the best strategy. Yeah, it's not bad. Just it's an account running well. Yeah, so you cannot get the salary. That's not good. Not absolutely not good strategies. Yeah. Yeah, this is do some research. Yeah, that's reference. Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay, this conflict is going on now.
Yep.
Yes.
And it's not being resolved.
Not yet.
Yeah.
And they are going to have another 4 more conflicts today, tomorrow, 23rd, 24th.
Yeah.
So it looks like from what you say that the unions are stronger than the airline.
Yeah.
So they don't really have a choice.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think the management, sorry to contradict, the management is not trying to listen to the union. I think union is more adamant on their points, and whatever union suggests to the management, and they are not taking that thing into consideration. So it's not a two-way negotiation. It's just only like it's happening and not happening, and still the France government trying to intervene it. So the things are getting more and more complicated.
So where does the French government stand? Is it for the union or for the airline, or trying to be neutral?
Yeah, it's
Where do they stand?
I think the French government is trying to be more neutral because recently the Prime Minister says that he doesn't want to hurt the employees, neither he doesn't want to hurt the management, because if he's hurting the employees, there will be like a loss of political way of the government, and if the management is unhappy with the government, then it can be a loss for the Air France. So it's a double game situation for the government.
Yeah. I mean, they want to be because Air France.
I think they want to be insulin between the two, so that the problems get solved out.
So if it's the case interest-based, I mean, you suggested interest-based solution is if that the interests don't seem to meet though. The interests don't seem to meet because now you reach what you described is that the unions don't trust them anymore because if you ask us to tighten our belt, we tighten, and then when you make the money, you pay yourself, and you pay somebody else. I mean, so they don't trust them anymore. The trust is gone.
But then again, the strategy is more to the first part is they're more aggressive on it. Until that when it comes to a point, it's still not going on, then it comes on the
So
see if they can come up to a interest base.
But there's the interest based, but there's no common interest here now. Is that common interest?
But they can create a common interest in the sense that saying that okay, if you give me 6% or you can give me a certain percentage, point of 6 in between, then.
But will they buy that? Will they buy that though? I mean, now I've got to wait until you do better. I do better again. Will they buy?
No,
that?
give them there's a target. For example, like given
I mean, that could be a strategy.
Yeah, because I think 6% increase for them, and it's on the other hand, management is getting a double-digit salary increase.
Yes.
Because the profit of Air France is not very less. It is having a good profit, and still they are not giving it to the workers. They are just sharing between the management. I think that can be a legal bias point.
And Air France itself, they're doing well. It's just that a lot of things that happen in between, and then they have to keep the money out, and also they even